Hello everyone, and welcome to the very first video for Keith Hunt's Coins. I recently decided to get into coin collecting, and it's a very interesting subject for me, and I wanted to do a new hobby that wasn't really going to cost a lot of money other than just, the money you take out of the bank. So my son is interested in it also, and I think in the future we might do some videos together. We'll kind of see how that goes, and yeah, it should be interesting. I have a little bit of knowledge, but really a whole lot to learn. So if you watch this video and you have some tips for me, or maybe some knowledge, something that I miss, something that would be helpful to me, please leave a comment. I would definitely appreciate it, because like I said, trying to learn as much as I can and have some fun while we go. So for today, I've got a one-box penny hunt. I'm going to be looking for some 2009s, which are my son's favorite. I'm going to be looking for any interesting foreign coins, hopefully some older wheat pennies, and maybe possibly with a little bit of luck, something even older than that. Fingers crossed. So I've got my box. I did open it and verify that it's circulated coins, so we're good to go there. And then I've got my my trusty books here that I've started. I do have some coins in there from some pennies that I'd held on to previously, and then of course a loop there to help me see some of the dates and some of the finer details. So with that said, let's get into the box and get started. Alright guys, I'm bringing you back in because we have our very first find of the hunt. It's roll number 3, and we've got the first wheat penny. So let's flip it over and take a look. Let's see. It's pretty slick. Well, that's about as good as I'm going to get that picture. I don't know if this will work. Alright guys, let's try this one more time. That looks like a 1935, and I'm going to say that's an S. So I'll double check it. But I think that's what we got. Not bad for our first find. And right behind that was a 2009, which I think I mentioned was my son's favorite. So we'll add that for his collection. Not a bad way to start. All right, I'll bring you back in when there's another find. Roll number 5, and I should have checked my enders. We got a pretty interesting find here. Turns out it's a Canadian King George VI, and it is a 1944. So the fun thing is, where I grew up, I'd see Canadian coins all the time. Pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters, all over the place. But I don't think I ever saw a King George VI. So something new and interesting for the collection. All right, we're on roll number 8, and we've got a pretty interesting find. At first I thought it was a foreign, but I took a closer look at it, and sorry, I don't think the camera's going to pick it up too well, but it's actually a Benjamin Franklin, and it's not a coin, it just looks like some kind of souvenir. It has no value, it's just from the Benjamin Franklin Memorial, I guess. I'd never heard of it, but it's pretty interesting. So I'll go ahead and hold on to that, add that to the collection. It's a nice little find. Back to the hunt. All right, so my wife decided she wanted in on the fun, and I think on her second roll of pennies, this is what she finds. So it's not in great shape, but I didn't expect to really ever find one, or at least to maybe take a lot longer than what we did to find one. And the date is kind of hard to read, and I know it's not going to show up very well on the camera here, but I think it's an 1883. And let's see if I can do this. That doesn't really help it much either. Like I said, it's pretty corroded, but it's still a pretty cool find, and that right there might be the coin of the collection for now. So let's hope she brings more good luck and can find even more Indian heads. All right, everybody, it's time for the wrap up. We had some interesting finds, at least I think so. We ended up with a total of 11 of the 2009 coins. So I'm going to hold on to those for my son, since those are his favorite. Most of them aren't in great shape. There's a couple that look kind of nice. These two here look like they're not too bad. We found this pretty interesting memorial souvenir for Benjamin Franklin. Wasn't expecting that, but it's pretty cool. For the foreigns, we ended up with 3 Canadian coins. We got a 1981, a 1973, and a pretty nice King George VI from 1944. It was a pretty interesting find. Like that one. For the rest of them, we got a stack of 1970 to 1974s. There's 83 total there. This stack here is 1960 to 1969. There's a total of 73 there. My collection right now is only going up to 74. I've got the rest of the pennies waiting for my son in a box, and he can go through those and add to his collection. Over here, I got a total of 5 1959s. So that's the first memorial back. There are 4 1959Ds and 1 1959. Then we've got a total of 10 wheat pennies. We found 2 1952Ds, a 1958, and a 1956. None of the wheat pennies were really in that great a shape, but I'll take it. There's going to be plenty to add to my album. We found a total of 4 from the 1940s. There's a 1944, a 1944S, a 1945S, and a 1946D. Another nice find, this one here, is a 1935S. So I'll definitely add that into the book. Unfortunately, we didn't find anything from the 1920s. That would have been really cool, because I did end up with this one, which is actually a 1918. And I'll try to get in a little bit closer. Unfortunately, nah. Sorry guys, my camera is not that great. But anyway, that's a 1918. So, cool find. Of course, the star of the show is the Indian head penny that my wife found. I took a little bit closer look at it, and I'm pretty sure that's an 1893 instead of an 1883. It kind of fooled me at first, but once I got a little bit closer, a little bit better look at it, I'm pretty sure that was a 9. But that's okay, I'll still take it. It'll be the oldest coin in my collection. Definitely a huge find. Hopefully I can find some more in the future. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you are interested in seeing more, then please consider subscribing and like the video. Maybe leave a comment if you've got some tips or some advice on what I should do in the future for collecting. As I said at the beginning, I'm pretty new to this, still learning a lot, So any advice or tips, I would appreciate it. Thanks. Bye.